So I'm going to do a quick little review of how to start a new Google Sites website. I'm going to start by sharing my screen and taking you to my Google Drive, which I've already logged into. So you do need to be logged in to Google, not necessarily Google Drive. And actually, one of the best ways there's a benefit to actually going to open a new tab. And in here, I'm going to write sites.google.com. And this is a way we can get to almost all the Google tools, right? So we've seen before docs.google.com, mail.google.com. So here we have sites.google.com. I'm going to hit enter. And what's nice about getting to Google Sites from this link is that you do get to see a variety of templates that are hard to get to if you don't do it here. So I can now click on here and see all these different templates that they've created for us if you want to just use one of those. Or you can start from a blank site that you create yourself. What these templates give you are fonts. You know, they've basically created a whole, when you come in, there'll be a font, there'll be colors, where the main picture is, all that stuff will be preset for you. If you start with your own site, you have to come up with that yourself. So let's go ahead and click blank slate and we'll do that together. So when you're in this version, if you had gone to your Google Drive and done it through new, which is another way to get to Google Sites. Here's Google Sites under new. You would see something like this, and you would have these themes to choose from, but they're not quite as robust as those other themes, and I haven't figured out quite how you get back to that other theme page. So you still can come here and pick themes, or you can just do it yourself. And again, what's nice is to come in here, just like with Google Slides, and click on custom, and then we can, no, April, this will be my, no, April template that I'm creating. You can add a logo there, you can add a banner image there, and it will start to set basically these style sheets for you. So you don't have to make your decision on every page. You just do it here the one time. So if I pick I will look for a logo. Let's look for something. We'll let me do it. I'm going to go to my downloads folder and we're going to pick our Google Sites logo or little icon that I created earlier. Click open, and a banner image. Let's go to my images and choose something. So if I was doing this for real, I would have come in here earlier and saved all these things, or I'd be going out and finding them now and creating a folder where they would all be put. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. I'm going to click next. So you get to decide what sets of colors you want. You could also create your own custom set of colors. And these are going to be assigned to different levels of writing and links and all those kinds of things inside your site. So I'm going to go with the red, white, and black. Click next, and I get to choose a font. And it's going to choose, I have options to choose from any of the fonts that I have added to my Google Docs or Google Slides. Google Slides. So we could go with, let's see, something. That's the trouble of having too many fonts. It's hard to make a decision. We'll go with Vast Shadow, and for body text, I will use Oswald, one of my favorites, and we'll go with normal. And I'm going to create my theme. So you can see it's already put that image in the back there. Now I can go in and change a lot of this stuff, but the purpose of doing this is that you go in and set it up once, just like we do in slides, and then it's there for you the rest of the time. I don't like that this is bolded, so I'm going to go over to text and I'm going to look for, of course it's not there. Let's look for our titles. So this is Vast Shadow and it's bolded. So I'm going to unbold it. I could change other things about it here. So you have all of this, all these different things that you could come in and change, and you might find as you start to put your site together that you want to change the colors or do something like that. So that's everything you can do here. So now we have our site. This is under themes. We're going to go to pages. This is how we set up our separate pages. So they've given you a home page. If you want to add another page, as I come down to that little plus sign, which again is a very common Google technique for the next adding something new. From here, I can add a new menu section, a full page embed, or a new link, or a new page. I'm going to go ahead and do a new page, and I'm going to call this assignments. So I'm kind of looking at this as a website I might use with students. I'm going to go ahead and click done. So now you can see up here, we're starting to create all our tabs. I'm going to do another one. We're going to call it homework. Well, let's do like assignments. Let's look at videos. Okay. So now I have these. I can change the order of them. So I can make it a sub page, which would be a menu that drops down underneath something else. I could duplicate it. I could make it the home page. I can delete it. I can hide it from navigation. So you sometimes have, you don't want everything to show up here. You're going to connect perhaps to videos in your assignment page, but you don't want videos to stand alone. If we go ahead and hide this from navigation, and then I go to the assignments page, I can add a link here that would take me to the video section, for example. Or we could go to videos and we could show a navigation and make it a, let's see, I should just be able to drag it. Is it going to let me do that? Everything's different. So I think if I drag it over here, yeah. So if you drag it onto another tab, now it becomes a drop down. And the way that people know there's a drop down is you get that little caret there. So I can drag it back out again by dragging it over to the side. So now there are 3 equals again. And I can rearrange by dragging this up here, right? So you can put it, that's how you control that. So with themes is our overarching kind of pattern or design. Pages are the buckets of content. And then we go into insert. And this is where we're going to spend most of our time. So you have here content blocks that are made up for you already. If I was to put one of these in and I just click it, it's in here. I can get rid of these, but it's better to pick one that fits your need. So if you only have 3 images, don't pick this one, pick the 3 image one. You can also just get rid of the whole thing. So again, like slides, whatever has that blue outline around it is the active thing. So right now I could delete the whole thing, or I could come in here and delete just the one thing. So you know which thing is being deleted by where the blue line, or what is active, what you're working on. So the downside of that was that, you know, I can delete that, but now I have a space over here, and I could move this over. You noticed when I clicked on here that I get these little anchors like we see in slides. I can pull that over. So I could reorganize this so it fits. And you'll notice as I'm working on that, as I click on these and I start moving, you get those lines, those vertical lines. That is one thing that you'll notice, that your content will snap into those spaces. So if I was to let go right now, it's going to snap into either the line to the left or the line to the right of where I am. It's not going to stay where I am. So you see that it did that. It moved back to the line to the right of where I was. So just know that you won't be able to resize outside of that. You're going to have to stay inside some level of their preset things. Other than that, you can move things around. And to get back to the whole thing, I want to highlight the whole thing and delete that. I would just click somewhere out in the side, the kind of space there, and then I could click the garbage sign. So you have a certain amount of content blocks. You have some other content types that you can put in here. For example, we're talking about videos. If I go to our video section, I'll probably want to put in a video. So if I scroll down inside here, I see that YouTube is here. And if I click on YouTube, it's going to ask me to find a video. So let's start with robots. Why not? And again, we would say that normally you would have chosen this content outside of the situation. I'm not doing it. I'm doing the I'm taking the cake out of the oven and not showing you how all the things I had to do to bake the cake. So choosing the content is actually the hardest work. Creating the content and choosing what to put here is. So we're going to go with this one, and we're going to select it. And here's our video. And we could make this larger so it takes up more space on our website. We can make it smaller. We want to make sure that that we're not cutting off the video. That would be the one thing to be aware that, like right now, I'm going to be cutting off bits of the video. So you need to stay within the aspect ratio of that space. You could write questions in here, right? We could go back up to the top where we have text box. I could add a text box. And I want this text box actually to be beside that. Notice those little dots there that we see Google Forms and other places. That tells us we can move this. So I'm going to move it up beside the video. Let's see if it lets me do that. Oh, it went above. So this is the tricky part. There we go. Now we're beside. And so I could type in a question, right? Like, again, imagining that I knew this content, I would say, why is the robot dancing? You could put a link here to a Google form that people could respond to. But anyway, so now we're done with that. I'm going to go ahead and publish. So the very first time you publish, you're going to have to give it a website name, and it is going to be attached to sites.google.com. So I'm going to call it Google Club example. So you see, name contains forbidden reserved words. So I'm guessing Google is not allowed there. I'm going to take that out there. We'll just call it club example. Let's see if it lets that be there. So it has to be unique, right? No one else could have taken it already. I could also go buy my own domain, which could be, that could be googleclub.com or gclub.com or something like that. I should call this gclub. So that to do that, the custom domain, you have to pay for outside of this area. But for free, you can just use this one, and I can click publish. And now my website is live. And up here, I can grab that link anytime I want to. So if I click on that and I go over here and paste it, oops, that's not what happened. Let's see here. There we go. Copy that link. Now let's paste that. And that was actually the link to the video page, but I can skip around inside there. We didn't put any other content, but it's all sitting there for us, right? So if the video's there, it's embedded, I can play it right there. So you could have, videos, either you add them every week or you could have them all there, but have the assignment deadline here or whatever. Now, the one other thing I want to show you is on our website, we didn't even give it a name, so let's call it G Club. And that's going to show up there now automatically. I think you can delete that if you want to, but that's what's going to sit there. What I wanted to show you was something called a favicon, and that we get to by going to the little symbol for tools or settings. And we're going to go to, I think it's brand images. Yes. So a favicon is that little tiny icon that is on the tab at the top of your browser. And it helps people to know which tab is which. And the default will be the icon for websites, for Google sites. So here we get to, you can upload an image. So again, I'm going to use that same image that we had as our logo, which is this one. And it's there now. And if I say, I don't even think I have to save it. Yes, I don't even have to save it. So now I'm just going to X out of here. And I'm going to publish my site again. And every time you publish, it's going to show you what is the current website the world can see. And it's going to show you what changes you've made. And so, it's an opportunity before you say yes, publish, to be like, oh my gosh, no, this isn't what I meant to have happen. And until you publish it, the changes don't come through. So we're going to click publish. And if I come over here, so I kept the tab open with the website in it. If I refresh it, oh, it might take a few minutes for the favicon to appear. Let me just close that out and we'll go back here and we'll, now you can also see a preview of your site as it will be seen. This is what we'll see on a browser, but this is what it would look like on the phone. And that's good to check because sometimes these things get out of order, right? It's very helpful to have these questions below the video. But if you find that the questions were above, you might have to do some maneuvering, go back to the design and reorganize that. So now I'm back to my editing page and I know that because I have all this stuff on the right side. Let us try going to our link again. I just want to see if the favicon has come in. Yay, there's the favicon. So now you have your little favicon, and a lot of people, it's called like favorite icon is where favicon comes from, but a lot of people don't know what that is. So when you change your favicon to something that's meaningful, that to me is always a sign of someone who's really paying attention to all the details. So that's the very short version of how to make a Google site.